The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff and management of WWDB TV.
Whether she's walking the red carpet or doing interviews, you'll find her with celebrities and all the latest news. She's here, she's there, she's everywhere, she's always on the go. So sit back, relax, and get ready, 'cause it's the Corey Taylor Talks Show.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Corey Taylor Talks, live from Las Vegas, the #1 teen talk show. I am so excited about my guests today, and as you can see, we have a lot of guests in studio with us because we're talking about a really awesome place. That they have like the coolest shows ever, and I'm obsessed with them, and it's really just so much fun and violent, and I love it. So we have the people of TuffNUff with us. So hi guys, how are you?
How are you? I'm doing good.
Good. So why don't we go down the line and introduce yourself and tell them exactly what you do.
My name is Pierre Lagaska, and I fight MMA for Asylum Fight Team. Getting ready for my 6th fight. TuffNUff's just been great. I've been with two different organizations, and TuffNUff's just been great. Every time we come to attend, we're just taken care of professionally, and I love it.
Awesome.
My name is D'Angelo. I train out of Asylum Fight Team. TuffNUff is a good show. I like watching their fights. They put on shows.
My name's Dan Watanabe, and I'm with TuffNUff. I'm the janitor, so I take care of any of your needs that you may need done at the fight and at the event. But it's a great organization. We love to put on shows, and we love people to enjoy themselves and have fun. So come on out and see us on Friday night.
Yeah, so why don't we go right into it? This Friday you have a really awesome event coming up, and where is it? Where can people get more information about it and go watch it?
They can actually go on our website, TuffNUff.com, or they can go on to the New Orleans Casino website and pick up tickets either there or at the website. Pierre is going to be fighting on the card, so it should be a really good fight. Asylum Fight Team and Phil Dunlop, I just love those guys. They're just an awesome team, awesome guys out here in Vegas. You ever need to train, come out and see those guys. But it's going to be a great night. Starts at 7, doors are going to open about 6:30. We've got 12 action-packed fights. We've got 2 championships. So come on out and watch Pierre get the knockout over there.
Aiming for it. We aiming for it.
That's it. And so, okay, so I know a lot of people watching probably don't even know really what TuffNUff is or something. So why don't you, or any one of you, or all of you, explain what TuffNUff actually is and what MMA is?
TuffNUff is the most elite of amateur MMA. The toughest fighters, anybody that ever been put up against on TuffNUff has just been high quality for me, and just a whole lot of respect in there, and they get down. I love it.
Well, we've been around since 1994 as a vision started by Barry Mayer. Unfortunately, he passed away, so we thank him for starting off TuffNUff. Jeff, his brother, has continued the tradition. We've had some great fighters fight for us, people you've probably heard of or seen on TV. Ronda Rousey started with us and continued her career and went on to WWE fame and other things. We've got great supporters like Misha Cupcake Tate, Randy the Natural Couture, and a bunch of different fighters that have gone on to fight for the UFC, Bellator, and a lot of other organizations. But it's a proving ground, and we're one of the longest running amateur proving grounds in the United States and the world. And we encourage you guys to come on board, come watch the fights, or come join us if you're interested. Go to the TuffNUff website, and again, just send us a message if you're interested in fighting or need to find some place to train. We got all the answers for you, so come on down.
Yeah, so I know MMA seems like insanely difficult and hard and stuff. So what actually is it? And I know there's like all different aspects to it. So what is MMA?
MMA is more the Viking of it. Are you tough enough? Are you tough enough? It's violent. You got to be a little bit crazy, but it's brutal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just to give you an idea, what they say basically, 3 to 5 minutes in the ring is like running 10 miles. And I'm sure the fighters can attest to that. It's something different when you get in that ring or the cage and start doing your thing. It's not the same as just, you know, going out there and rolling on the ground. And, you know, they think sometimes we just do this sport like animals, but it's serious training. These guys are athletes. These guys prepare. I'm sure Pierre and D'Angelo can attest to it. They're in the gym training. It's not just, you know, a casual thing where, hey, I go in, work out for half an hour to get my sweat on. It's a little bit more than that. What do you guys think about that, huh?
Man, you hit it on the point, man. It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah. Well, so how old were you guys when you first started with it?
When I was younger, my dad had me in karate. I stopped doing that, but as I got older, I got more into it. And then met Phil Dunlap, and I've just been on the ball ever since.
I was 11 years old when I first started.
Oh, wow. And what are your guys' backgrounds like with it?
I really never had an actual background with it. Just I met Phil Dunlap, and just he saw a chance and potential in me, and to help me see it in myself.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, it seems like just a crazy amount of work, and you guys, you really are athletes and stuff. And it's, I mean, I'm sure you put hours and hours into this, and your blood and sweat and tears, literally. I mean, it's really, it's great. And I was at the Pack at the Mac, and it was so cool. It was packed. Everyone was there. The fighters were incredibly talented. They really were. It was a phenomenal event.
I was actually cornering a TuffNUff fight championship.
Oh, there you go. No, it's a phenomenal event. And I had to say kudos to you guys, because I've been to a lot of events where unfortunately it's not really that organized and everything, but you guys are very organized with it, and it's fight after fight after fight, and I mean, really just all around phenomenal. And I think you guys really should be rewarded for that, because that's a really great thing, and very appreciative of the audience for sure.
Well, I think definitely a lot of it goes into the planning and the production and the people you don't see or actually talk to that make things happen for us. There's people like Rona, who basically handles all the behind-the-scene things. The Smiths, who matchmake for us, they do an awesome job in just picking the right fights. You know, a lot of other organizations, you find a lot of these one-sided fights. Anytime you come to TuffNUff, you're going to see a fight, and a real fight, not where somebody just gets whooped on, but actually real competition. And that's the whole goal of what TuffNUff brings out. We want the fighters to be equally matched so that they can grow and get into the stages of the professional career that they want to get into. And you know, that's the other thing, is we work with great teams, again, like Asylum and Rebel MMA, that you know, have great coaches like Phil Dunlop, who takes people under his wings and teaches them the ropes, and multidisciplined. You know, it's MMA is not just it's on the ground, boxing, Muay Thai, jiu-jitsu, grappling, wrestling, and we owe it to all these guys behind the scenes that help us to make the event possible, but also the coaches like Phil, who bring their fighters out to us and say, hey, can you get this guy on our card and make things happen for us. And thanks again to all the teams out there who helped TuffNUff get where we're at today.
That's awesome. No, I mean, really, just it's so cool, and really talented fighters. And it was a true fight. It wasn't just like, oh, here we go. It was a real actual fight, and it was awesome. And I was raised on WWE, and then when you find out it's not real, it's heartbreaking. But your guys is legit, and it's real, and you're right there, and it's very intense. It is. It's a great fight. It's awesome. Yeah. And then so I bet there's a lot of injuries with this. Have you guys had any injuries? What are the worst injuries you've ever seen with TuffNUff? Because I think people, it's bad for the fighters. I think a lot of people like always watching that, of course. So what type of injuries and stuff do you guys?
The worst injury I seen was when Cheyenne Velismus slammed this girl, and her whole, I think her elbow popped out.
Oh, good gosh.
Yeah, I recorded it.
What about you? Have you guys personally had any injuries, or have you been pretty lucky with that?
I think I checked so many kicks one time that my leg was hurting after the fight.
Yeah.
That's probably about it.
Well, that's good. That's not too bad.
Luckily,
yeah.
blessed.
Yes, definitely.
Well, I've been in this game for a long time, you know, behind the scenes, 20 plus years. So I've been lucky to see some interesting injuries along the way. You know, big cuts as big as your fingers. You know, some gashes that people have gotten sliced that are just crazy looking. But luckily, we got good medics at the event that, you know, take care of our guys and get them all stitched up and everything. But you know, sometimes the worst injuries are the ones that happen in the gym, right, Angelo?
No, that's hot. You know what? Actually, I want to bring up last at the Pack the Mac, there was a guy who actually bit somebody. Did you? That was a little crazy. I mean, the fight ended right then and there. That was a little crazy. Does stuff like that happen often? Like, does people get too into it, or?
That's my first time I seen something like that.
It was like a Mike Tyson.
That was something else. It was far different from a Mike Tyson, because that was a man nipple. Yeah,
that was weird. Everyone was kind of like, what happened? And then I was like, oh my gosh, that was a bit of crazy moment.
Yeah, we have some interesting things. Fortunately, we've got good people on up there. Our ref's really great, and you know, takes control over the situation. You know, it's not really as barbaric as people may think. When it first started, it was. You know, they allowed eye poking and you know, kicking in the groin and other things like that. But there's a lot of rules and regulation that have come into play. ISKA is our organizing body that takes care of us. So we follow rules and regulations, and you know, all the fighters, they've got to get medical checkups. They got to be prepared. They got to be released to fight. And then even after the fight, you know, there's a decision made whether they go on medical suspension or other things like that. So we definitely take care of them. Every once in a while, yeah, we have the circus acts that happen. It's you know, no matter what you do, you always have the comedy routine every once in a while, you know.
No, but really, it was an awesome event, and everyone was so into it. And they were, I think that's really a great point you brought up. They were very well paired up, and you could tell, because it was a true match. It wasn't just like, oh, well, this guy's going to win, no doubt about it. So, I mean, really awesome job with that. But I think we're actually going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll come back and we'll talk more about TuffNUff, so stick around.
Crazy Terry here with your car care tip of the day. Today's tips on cooling systems. This vehicle's got about 182,000 miles on it, so if you're checking the coolant, check the hoses too. Just feel them and see if they're soft or any signs of fatigue for the mileage on it. They don't feel bad. They look like they're still the original hose, but you want to make sure you don't go too long with these hoses, because they will eventually deteriorate, cause a problem. In this case, this car's got a visible leak. The customer brought it to us. We'll pop the hood and check the cooling system. First, we just relieve any pressure that might be on the cap. Remove the cap. Take a look inside. We see it's kind of low. Now we'll start our inspection. What we found on this one is the top tank is leaking. It's got a crack in it. Pretty common for these plastic radiators to do that. I want to get to a shop right away, because severe engine damage can result from overheating condition like this. In this case, it was pretty easy to see the crack was right on the top tank, but a lot of times we'll have to pressurize the system to locate the exact leak. Could be a hose in the back, could be underneath. Some of these are hard to find, but in this case, a very common leak, the top tank. When we're testing a cooling system, it's okay to use just water, but you want to make sure when you're filling it up properly, it's a 50-50 mix of antifreeze and water. It needs the water to make the chemical work, so don't just put straight antifreeze. 50-50 mix is the best way to go. Keep it clean, keep it rust-free. So as you can see, we got a pretty active leak. You got to get this fixed, or there's going to be some engine problems. If you're going to top off your own coolant, it's really not that hard. If you got a radiator cap, just make sure it's not hot. Take the cap off and take a look. In this case, we're pretty full here, but what we have is the overflow jugs empty. So we'll just add that. Once again, check your manufacturer's specs to make sure what type of coolant you have. In this case, we're using the good old green. There's gold, there's red, there's yellow, all types out there. Just want to make sure you're staying with your manufacturer recommended coolant. And that's really all there is to it. The cooling system is a major component. You'll want to service that regularly. If you have a problem, it could be too late and cost you thousands of dollars. If ever you have a problem, come into Sun Valley Automotive. It's no charge to look at your cooling system. This is Crazy Terry with your car care tip of the day.
And we are back with Corey Taylor Talks, and we are talking about TuffNUff. And truly, like we were saying, these guys are athletes, and they train so hard, and their whole life is dedicated to this. So what would you say, we'll go to both of you, what's your typical day as a fighter and getting ready for this and everything? What's your typical day?
I hit the heavy bag in my garage, 12 rounds. I'll run 3 miles. And then when I come back, I do 6 more, if I don't feel lazy, because it's kind of hot outside with the sun.
It's horrifying outside.
But that's just in the morning, and then we got a class with Asylum at 7 o'clock, and I do that till 9.
Wow. And then what about you?
I hit the mitts with my brother. Then after that, I'll punch the heavy bag. Then at 7 p.m. we'll go to the Asylum fight team, and then I'll just spar, have my brother hold mitts, and just work.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and like you said, you've been doing this since you were 11. And how old were you when you started?
When was I? I was in karate when I was really young, probably 9, 8.
Yeah, so that's that's your whole life. So what made you actually realize, oh, I want to do this? This is what I want to do in my life.
I don't know. I think I like getting hit. And it's never bothered me, so.
Okay. There you go. I guess that's a good career choice then. What about you?
What got me into this was my brother, actually. Like seeing him train, he got me into it, and it's just fun.
Yeah. I just think it's very interesting because, I mean, there's so many different options out there and stuff, and this is, I mean, it's tough. It's a lot of work. It's not just when you're in the ring. It's all the time. Like, your whole life is kind of based around this. So it's a very tough career choice, but it's a very awesome one. So I think that's cool you guys chose that.
Thank you.
And what if someone's watching this and is thinking about maybe getting into something like this? What do you suggest for them? What type of advice do you have for them in doing this?
Show up every day. Every day. No days off. If you're scared to take your first fight, jump to it, man. There's nothing worse than regret.
Yeah, you should just do it. It's fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I get kind of a bad temper sometimes, and I think maybe that's what sometimes happens when it gets out of control. Do you guys ever lose your temper and just go ham, or how do you keep control while fighting and doing that?
I don't know. Sometimes I think I control myself, and sometimes I don't. My coach always tells me which one's going to show up today, the good Pierre or the bad Pierre. You already know you're tough. But I don't know. I just lately just been focusing on staying in the mood, so good Pierre will always show up.
There you go.
I just try to keep my temper. If I hit you as hard as you hit me, sometimes I might go a little bit harder, but it's fun.
I think one of the keys to it is actually exactly like both D'Angelo and Pierre are talking about is you got to step in there. You got to step into training, and when you step into training, you learn about discipline. And that's what's great about our sport. People, you know, like I said, there's multiple disciplines that we work in, from the stand-up game to the ground game, and you got to be dedicated and you got to be disciplined in it. And you know, it's not just somebody just hitting you in the face. You know, it's one thing, but you got to be able to take a couple hits in the face and get back up and stay in the game. And these guys are dedicated and they do their thing. And the main thing that I see from a lot of the fighters and these two guys here is the dedication. Yeah. When you have the dedication, and it only comes from actually going out there, showing up. You got to show up every day. And when you show up every day, then you learn the discipline. And a lot of that's going to transition into your life. Unfortunately for me, I've been in mixed martial arts for like 30 years. MMA wasn't around when I was in my younger days to be able to fight, but I can tell you that mixed martial arts and the things that we did in training have made me what I am today. I have my career because of what I learned in mixed martial arts. You know, and a lot of the guys out here, you know, they're fighters, but they transition what they learn as far as discipline, hard work, into becoming, you know, successful men and women in society today. And we see great examples of that, like these guys here. You know, they're not out in the streets gang banging, doing other things. You know, MMA is an opportunity for you to just step into something and be disciplined and not become a statistic like a lot of you know, young people happen to fall into. And I encourage you guys to, you know, get with guys like Pierre and D'Angelo, get in the gym, join places like you know, Asylum. You know, we've got Las Vegas Krav Maga, we've got, you know, all different kind of places, Cascal Jiu-Jitsu. I know there's a lot of people that I haven't mentioned, but there's a ton of great places to go train, learn discipline, and learn the craft. And then later on, hey, come on board and talk to one of the guys about stepping in the ring. But you know, we got great guys, and they're great people just because of the steps they took to get into the mixed martial arts community.
Oh, definitely. I think that's a really good point to put, and it does. I think my whole show is like about being positive and stuff, and I think this is a lot of people feel like there's no opportunities for kids and everything like that, but this is a great way to focus your energy on something positive and athletic. I mean, it's an awesome thing to do. So yeah, although it's tough and you get hurt and everything, it's still it's the sportsmanship of it and everything. So I think that's a really cool thing.
Yeah, and we always have some events, so please go on to TuffNUff.com, take a look. You know, prior to Pack the Mac, we did a little MMA coaching seminar with a bunch of our fighters for like the homeless youth. We had an event that we helped out with the world bantamweight champion Rose Namajunas. Did a women empowerment event for women to just stand up and be strong, you know, against bullying and you know, domestic violence. So we're always doing different things like that to empower the community and opportunities for people to actually get involved and see what's going on to make the community better and actually see what MMA can be a positive influence for a lot of people. You know, I know Phil does a lot of great things. He takes a lot of kids in, you know, just off the street to help them train, and he does it for nothing sometimes. And a great guy, great team. But you know, you ever want to train again, you know, look up Asylum Fight Team. Great guys and great coaches there, and I'm sure these two guys here can attest to that.
Yeah. No, I really think it's awesome, and it's a really cool thing to do, and I think that's great that you help out with the community and stuff. I also wanted to say you were also one of our sponsors for the 48-Hour Film Project here in Las Vegas, which you all know. Everyone watching knows I was involved with this year, and I mean, it was very awesome of you guys, and you're supportive of the whole community, and that's an awesome thing. So you guys should be really proud of yourself, and in turn, everyone should support them back. So I think that's how it make the love go round, right? So
Definitely.
Yeah. And who would you say is like your favorite fighters? All of you. Who are your favorite fighters? Who do you look up to? What type of fighting skills they have? Who are your favorites?
You want to start on that side?
Well, I'm kind of biased because I'm from Hawaii, and you know, I got to work with guys from Hawaii and the different promotions that I work with. But Max Bless Holloway would be my favorite fighter right now. You know, great guy, loves God, loves people, and shares the aloha spirit all over the place. Second favorite, Yancy Medeiros, brother aloha there. Always a nice guy, and both of them are just willing to throw down all day long.
My first favorite fighter is Cody Garbrandt. He shows no love. That's just me right there. My second fighter is Nate Diaz. He's just savage. Bangs. And my third one is Conor McGregor. He loves to fight. He's funny.
I'm gonna have to go with Sean O'Malley. How would you say it? And Dominic Cruz. I've been a Dominic Cruz fan since before he was even in UFC, like when they shut the Strikeforce down.
So all different mixes. That's cool. See, I think it's kind of everything, and everyone has different styles and everything. So I think that's awesome. And I have to ask, you did mention Ronda Rousey started with everything. All your fighters that started with you guys, do some of them still support you guys and help you guys out? Because I think it's a really important step for every one of them, and they wouldn't be here without you guys.
We do have a lot of the fighters that come back and help out. They show support. They show up to the events. Some of the fighters actually bring some of their teammates, and they actually corner some of their teammates. You know, Ronda Rousey's come back, said hi to us. Misha Cupcake Tate, you know, she's retired, but she shows up, says hi, and gives us a lot of love. Randy Couture, Captain America, has always been around. We support him. He supports us. Great guys. A lot of fighters that are in the UFC still show up, and they show up cornering their guys, and they're always approachable and humble. So, you know, you see some of these fighters, don't shy away. Some of them love taking pictures and signing autographs. You know, we got Pierre right here. He's going to fight. You see him out there, go get his autograph, man. Yeah. But, yeah, they do support us, and
That's
it's
awesome.
a great thing. It's a two-way street, so we just love it.
That's great. That's great. And what are your guys' ultimate goals with this?
My ultimate goal with this, to come across probably likewise individuals who grew up similar to me, and help get them away from that. And you're out there fighting for your life in the streets, whatever, you know, fight and do it for yourself, for your family, you know, take your life to a greater position than what it is now.
I plan on making it to the UFC, take care of my family and the people that needs me.
Yeah. And you already got a nice with that. I mean, all you guys, I mean, really, what a cool event you guys put on. And, I mean, you as fighters, I mean, just phenomenal. So I really think it's a great thing out here, and I think a lot of people need to support TuffNUff. And I think you already have. You have a crazy fan base. Like I said, the Pack of the Mac was huge. Everyone was out there, but it was very well organized. So I think, once again, kudos to you guys for that, because that's great. And the event on Friday, why don't we go over that again?
Friday night we'll be at New Orleans, the Mardi Gras ballrooms. We want to pack that place out. It's going to be excitement. Of course, we got one fighter here ready to knock somebody out, and then go for the title after that on the next fight, hopefully. But we'll see what happens. But we've got 12 fights, 2 championship fights. It's going to be a really good night. Prices start at $25. Go to the TuffNUff website or go to the Orleans and pick up some tickets. Fight starts at 7. Doors open at 6:30. It's going to be a night of fun. I'm sure Pierre is ready for that fight. He's been preparing, and he's going to show up and shine on, man.
Come check me out on the second fight.
There you go.
Come support TuffNUff. It'll be worth your money. It's fun. Come support my brother, Morel, all the TuffNUff fighters.
Yeah. And then, not just for Friday, but beyond, where can people follow you guys and keep up to date? Because, I mean, you constantly have events, and I'm sure you guys are constantly fighting and everything, so where can people keep up to date with all of you guys?
TuffNUff.com. If you go to TuffNUff.com, you can definitely see what's going on right away. You can also send us an email at TuffNUff.com. Get on our mailing list, and then you'll know what's going on. Anytime we got something happening, you'll be the first to know, and be ready to be in the front row, of course.
Yes, that's right. No, it's awesome. Yes.
Me? You could find more news about me and what's going on with my MMA life at Rise of the Lycan, and also on Instagram, uglyboypz _ between the names.
You could check me out on Instagram at 325_kid, and on Facebook it's D'Angelo McGee.
Very cool. Well, yeah, everyone, please go follow them, keep up to date with them, and yeah, TuffNUff is going to be awesome. I'm excited for Friday. I'm sure everyone is, so it's going to be a blast. So thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, please go support everything. They're very supportive of the whole community, and it's really awesome. And what they're doing and changing and helping out everyone is an awesome thing. So thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, never give up, always believe, and you'll achieve. Thank you.
Can I say something?
Oh, yes.
I want to thank Jeff Mayer, the 2 matchmakers, Bruce and Brian. They take care of us, and I want to give a shout out to my coaches from Asylum Fight Team. Thank you.
I'm going to give a shout out to all the people he just mentioned. Thank you, TuffNUff.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, thank you to all of them, and I'm sure there's a lot of people backing them and got them here to where they are. So thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, never give up, always believe, and you'll achieve. Thank you, and God bless.
Appreciate it.